Hello, my friend. Mr. Horace again. It's been a long time since I did the last one, the last video. So, long time no see. Uh, so I did finish the two introductory videos. Introductory to or introduction to the 40 4 times 10 40 40 the 40 greatest the, or the best folk rock songs in the English language. I already did the Chinese one, right? This is the English. Those are the two best languages in the world, Chinese and English. I mean, you might ask me, why do you think that Chinese and English are the two best languages in the world? Well, simple. Because that's the only two languages I speak. Very simple. I mean, personal bias, personal preference, prejudice, or bias, whatever you want to say. Opinion. I mean, hey, everybody can have their opinion, right? That's my opinion. What are you gonna do about it? Myself and music. Now this song, it's interesting that it's kind of embarrassing to talk about it, but you know, I mean, I think you understand if you look at it from my perspective, from my point of view. So I wasn't familiar with this song when I first started playing guitar, but it's one of the songs that's in every guitar book. I mean, even in Taiwan, here in the Chinese guitar book, because it's a traditional American folk song, and so it's very famous. And the title is House of the Rising Sun. House of the Rising Sun. And then this is the fingering. This is the Animals. Anyway, it's a pretty interesting name, for a band, the Animals. And so this is how they play. I mean, that's not Joan Baez. I think the two probably most familiar covers of the song is Joan Baez in the folk style, and then the Animals, which is the folk rock style, because the electric guitar. I talk about the elements, also the singing style. But to me, Rising Sun to Chinese people, that's Japan. I mean, the land of the rising sun, Japan. So when I first, I mean, of course, before I did any research on the song, I thought, what is the house of the rising sun? So it's related to Japan, rising sun, Japan. And then house, I thought, well, what kind of house, in Japan? And now what's Japan famous for? Well, sushi is famous, and so sushi house can mean restaurant, steak house, sushi house. So I thought, I mean, that's just my initial kind of a feeling, or well, maybe this song is about a Japanese sushi restaurant. It's so famous that everybody, world famous Japanese sushi. So the Americans wrote a song about the Japanese, famous Japanese, sushi restaurant. So it's called the House of the Rising Sun. I mean, of course, it's absurd, totally absurd, but that was my. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. Oh God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sold my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down in New Orleans. Not only thing a gambler needs, it's a suitcase and trunk. And only time he'll be satisfied is when he's on a drunk. That's the first half of the song. So then, I mean, I really, in the beginning when I saw the title and when I was younger, I never looked at the lyrics, so that's why I didn't know. It's about a gambling house. House of Rising Sun is a gambling house in New Orleans. Okay. There's a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun. And it's been the ruin of many poor boys. God, I know I'm one. So it's been the ruin for many poor boys, many poor boy, many men. And this is not just in America, in China, in China especially too. A lot of gamblers, Chinese love to gamble. Chinese love to gamble, especially Hong Kong, Cantonese, and so it's been the ruin. I mean, so many people have lost their entire, fortune, all the money, creates so much misery, So that song, the point of the song is to teach people, to tell people, don't do that. Oh, mother, tell your children not to do what I have done. Spend your life in sin and misery in a house of rising sun. Well, I got one foot on the platform, the other foot on the train. I'm going back to New Orleans to wear the ball and chain. See, a gambler has no control. Professional, like, if we can call these professional gamblers, they have no control because it's addiction. Just like drugs, alcohol for some people, drugs, gambling, now porn, today's, pornography. and social media. That's also addiction. So people have no control. So see, his father was a gambler and destroyed, the family's life, and he saw that. I mean, he witnessed it, but still, like father, like son, he became a gambler. He followed his father. He followed, his father's footsteps, become a gambler, and now he's going back. I mean, but he wanted that the world know it's terrible. Gambling is terrible. You don't want to do it. Okay, you don't want to be like him. Live a life of sin and misery. Misery in a house of rising sun. This house in New Orleans they call the rising sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor boy. Oh, but I know I'm one. And there's been the ruin of many a poor boy. Oh God, I know I'm one. Well, at least, even though he is a sinner, terrible person, but he still recognized the existence of God. He still believed in God. I mean, that is something that is very, special in today's world. I mean, most people don't believe in God. I mean, but he believed in God, so that's good. That's a kind of plus in his, his personality, you can say. So, mother, oh mother, tell your children not to do what I have done. Spend your life in sin and misery in a house of rising sun. E minor 7, no, sorry. E major 7 is a really, really nice chord. I mean, there are different ways, other ways to play it, really, really excitingly, but I use the Animals. Their guitar. I mean, their. Pretty good, I think. Anyway, that is the House of the Rising Sun. So the point of this song is, please do not gamble. Don't become a gambler, because you are going to ruin your life. I mean, and also now, of course, now you can generalize this statement. Don't do drugs. Don't become an alcoholic. Don't gamble. Don't watch porn. And don't spend too much time on social media. Stay away from addictions. Okay? Welcome to the Hotel California.